What's going on, everybody? Good morning. Hope you guys are doing well. And I know maybe you came here expecting discussion of some day three running backs in the upcoming NFL draft, and we will get there. We're going to get there later today. We got a lot of stuff to talk about with those guys. But before we get there, I want to go ahead and talk about some news we got yesterday, some new information that I wouldn't exactly call it pressing, but it is worth talking about because some circumstances have changed from where we thought they were a couple of weeks ago. And there is potentially ramifications coming from this. Hopefully not. Hopefully this ends up being nothing. But for the moment, let's at least entertain the possibility this ends up mattering. So we got this article on screen from Field Goals. And the headline of this article has a simple ask of the reader. Stop saying the Seahawks can get out of Sam Darnold's contract after 2025. So the title of that article is asking you to do something. And the reason why it's asking you to do that is because that the statement is, as it turns out, false. So I'm not going to go through the whole article in this video. You can go through it if you want to. It's on Field Goals. Anybody can read it. But I am going to go over the point this article is making. The Sam Darnold contract has changed again, or at least our perception of it has changed. I guess it wouldn't be accurate to say the contract has changed. The contract's probably been the same this whole time, and we were just getting bad information. This is now the third iteration of the Sam Darnold contract. This usually doesn't happen, by the way. In my experience, contracts get reported and the first report is correct. So maybe this will happen another 7 times between now and the season. I don't know. But let's take a look at what the Sam Darnold contract is now, according to the latest information from Over the Cap. They have updated their Sam Darnold contract page. Let's take a look at how things have been altered. So, the cap hits are more or less the same. The cap hits are about the same. Cap hit for this upcoming year, very nice and reasonable, 13.4 million. Pretty good. That still works. And then the next 2 years, it escalates as expected, 33.9, 44.9. And then we got void year cap hits of 6.4 and 6.4. So that stuff has not changed. What has changed is the dead money. That's what we need to talk about in this video, because as the title of the Field Goals article says, we can't. Well, let's explore this for a second here. So let's look at the dead money here above my head. Look above my head here at the columns in red. So 2025 dead money, we don't care about that. That doesn't mean anything to us. 52.5 million, but you're not going to cut him before this season starts. That would be really, really goofy. If we did that, I'd assume that we're being run by, this is like some kind of an inside job and John Schneider's actually working for the Rams or something. But let's go past that, because I to go back to the offseason, when we first signed Sam Darnold and when we first got contract details, the narrative about the Sam Darnold contract was, well, if things don't work out, we can easily cut him after the first year. That's what this article is addressing. A lot of people have said this. I've gotten a lot of comments. I've seen a lot of comments on X, seen a lot of comments on Facebook, basically echoing the same sentiment. If Sam Darnold doesn't work out in 2025, we can easily get out of the contract. As it turns out, it would be agonizing to get out of the contract. So the dead money in 2026 on a pre-June 1st release of Sam Darnold is $40.6 million. That is more than the cap hit. So it will cost you more money to cut Sam Darnold pre-June 1st than it will be to keep him. So no, there is no easy way out after 1 year. Quite the opposite. In fact, I think the Field Goals article made the point that the $40.6 million cap hit on releasing Sam Darnold after this upcoming season would be more than the dead cap hit we took on for Russell Wilson and Geno Smith combined. It would be one of the bigger dead cap hits in NFL history. It would be certainly the biggest one in Seahawks history. It would put the dead cap hits of guys like Jamal Adams and Quandre Diggs to absolute shame, and it would single-handedly set us behind the 8 ball in next offseason. So, yeah, I think it's very, very safe to say that any notion of an easy out after 1 year is out the window. And even if you want to look at it in terms of the combined, 13.4 plus 40.6, that comes out to, what, $54 million. So basically, if the Seahawks let Sam Darnold play out 2025 and then cut him pre-June 1st next year, it will be the equivalent to giving him a 1-year, $54 million contract with 40.6 of that money void to the following offseason, in effect. Go look up how many quarterbacks in the NFL right now make $54 million a year. It's not. It's not what we want to do. It's not what any team would want to do. It would be a real disaster, especially because that would obviously imply that he played poorly. So you're paying 1 year $54 million for a bad quarterback, or at least not a good enough quarterback for you to feel good about going forward. So either way you slice it, this is not a one and done. And I didn't really think it was before anyway, but this number, growing by as much as it has, this number's gone up by, I think, more than $10 million, makes it even more clear there are expectations on Sam Darnold's shoulders. Now, I believe that the $40.6 million is, by some definition, a little bit... It's not as bad as it looks, because I believe it includes the void year money from 2028 and 2029, which is going to be dead no matter what we do anyway. So it's not quite as bad as it looks. It's still pretty bad, because if you're taking on that dead money early, the impact is going to be bigger because the cap is going to be lower. So that's a very, very thin silver lining in my book. So yeah, Sam Darnold's contract is a 2-year deal. And if you do the math here, you have 13.4 plus 33.9. So call that 34 plus 13 is 47. And then you add the dead cap hit in 2027, which would be, 47 plus 19, that's 66. So approximately $66 to $67 million. So if Sam Darnold plays out 2 years of his deal, and then he gets cut in 2027's offseason, it's a 2-year, $67 million deal with $19.2 million in a void year of sorts in 2027. Now, that's certainly a lot more palatable, and that would be more in line with what we were hoping for. Although I will say, I think some people have said that it was actually like a 2-year, $55 million deal. So it's not that either. It's like 2 years, 66, 2 years, 67, if I'm understanding these numbers right. And if these numbers are accurate, of course, which is, I guess, not a given. But yeah, we are not in the one and done camp with Sam Darnold, not at all. One and done with Sam Darnold would be an all-time mess up. That would be an all-time fumble, and we can't let it happen. So Sam Darnold, you got to give us at least one really nice year. Now, you get to 2027, then you have a little bit more of a reasonable ask. $19.2 million dead, $25.7 million savings. That is definitely something that you can do, especially because, again, remember what I said about the void years in 2028 and 2029. Those are kind of rolled in, so it's not even as bad as it looks. Excuse me. So, yeah, you get there, it's okay. But I would say that you're going to need to do something in these next 2 years for that dead cap hit to feel like it was worth the impact, because there is still an impact. So you've got 2 years to do this. And hey, if Sam Darnold plays really good, you extend him, and then none of this really matters all that much, and he's just your franchise quarterback. And that's the one thing I can say. This doesn't look good. This doesn't. The upshot, the positive, is that this will only matter if Darnold is bad. This only matters if Darnold is bad to the point where we want to get rid of him in the next offseason. As long as he's good, as long as he plays well, and you as a fan, or me as a fan, or anybody as a fan, or I guess most importantly, the Seahawks front office feels like he's good enough to bring back for 2026, then it doesn't matter because you're not going to release him. The dead money hit doesn't matter if you don't release him. And if he continues to play well, by the time you get to 2027, you're probably talking about extending him anyway. So, again, doesn't really matter that much at that point, right? You just extend him out. You probably create a little bit of cap savings, get the cap hit down a little bit, and then you go forward from there. Now, there is one way out of this, and I do want to draw attention to this. And no, I'm not talking about a post-June 1st release. That would obviously reduce the pain, but it would also push some of it out. I'm talking about a trade. The trade is how you make this slightly more tolerable. If the Seahawks get to the 2026 offseason, 1 year of Darnold and they want out, but he still has value, he played good or decent, and you can find a trade partner, the dead cap hit goes down to 25.6. That's at least tolerable, right? That's at least something that you can swallow and not have it get completely stuck in your throat. So that would be the one kind of escape valve you have here. It's still, we're still not talking about a 1 year contract in effect. Not at all. This is very much meant to be a 2-year deal at the minimum. And I think you can make an argument it's meant to be more than that, but at least at that point, it becomes manageable. So, yeah, I needed to go ahead and clarify that because I've made 2 videos about the Sam Darnold contract. Both of them were based off bad information. Both of them have been updated, and this is the latest and greatest we have right now. So, yeah, to make a long story short, no, the Sam Darnold contract is not basically a 1-year deal. It's not an easy out after 1 year. It's not just a trial run. It's not any of those things. It's actually, if anything, harder to get out of after 1 year than I would have thought. We have to get to year 2. We have to get through year 2 to year 3 for this to not be a disaster. So, again, what I'm going to say is this only matters if Darnold is bad. If Darnold is good, and what good means will vary from person to person, then we don't got to worry about it. The cap hits haven't changed. The void year hits haven't changed. That's all fine. But Sam Darnold, you got to give us something, man. You got to give us something, or else the whole world is going to be laughing at us a year from now when we eat this $40 million crap sandwich. Let me know what you guys think. I'll see you guys later. A couple hours. I'll have running back videos going up. Day 3 running backs today. We're on to another position tomorrow. Keep an eye out. Everyone have a great day. Go Hawks. And had to set the record straight. And hey, none of this is going to make it more or less likely that Darnold is good or bad. It's up to Darnold. It's up to this offense. It's up to Kubiak. It's up to this team, right? When they get on the field, monetary amounts don't matter. We just want good play. And good play is something that we could still have. All right. Sound off in the comments. Go Hawks. See you guys later.